on Monday, March the 11th. I was actually checking my my time. I have 31 minutes. Ay, ay, ay. You know the story. I've been asleep most of the morning, so let's not even mention it. We don't have to talk about it. It's a 3:15 in the afternoon. And I made myself wake up, because I'm like, or at least move, get up off the couch, go grab the camera, get my setup. In case you never knew, my setup is 3 Doctor Who boxes. That's about the thick of it, into the thick of it. That was a Backyardigans song. But anyway, I was awake for a little bit this morning. Is that kind of how it goes on Mondays? But anyway, let me answer my question before I fall asleep again. What did I say? Today was the 11th. Oh, yes. Because yesterday was Mario Day, March 10th. So, the last one on this page. What is the most spontaneous thing you've done recently? That. I can't really say that I have really done anything spontaneous lately. It's pretty much go to work, come home, sleep. I sleep spontaneously all the time. I'll be sitting here on the couch trying to scroll through Facebook or whatever, and then next thing I know, it's 3:15 in the afternoon. And I've done nothing. But that's fine. I don't have to do anything. I did take out some trash today, so I got something accomplished. So that's good. I don't have my friend Nick anymore from NicksVideoDiary. You never quite knew the adventures that would befall you. I don't know if I've ever... I had to have told the story at some point. But this is an example of... just, because, he was always... He had a lot of different... at one point, he had a lot of different... hobbies. Like, he had his motorcycle group that he would go and ride motorcycles with. He liked to go play poker, so that he would go up to the city and he'd play poker for hours on end. He was thinking about trying to be a professional poker player, and sometimes he would win. He would have to sit there, like I said, for hours and hours and hours on end. But he could usually win money. But an example of, so sometimes it's like, we watched Glee and Fringe together. I've never finished the last season of Fringe because I was watching it with him. There's a couple episodes of Glee I've never seen. That's when the new class came in, up to Glease, which was their version of Grease. Never seen those episodes. And then I started watching it by myself because I'm like, if I don't watch this, I don't know, because it was that season where some of the old students left, or they graduated, but they were going to pop up randomly throughout the season or whatever. And I was like, I'm not really a binge watcher usually, because it's like, I wanted that to have to wait, You know, instead of watching like 5 episodes in a row and there's, oh, suddenly they're back, you know? Like, I wanted to have to make myself wait that time, I guess, you know? Because I feel like you're missing out on part of the emotional experience, I guess, of watching a show. Binge watching it. I guess that's a whole other topic. I've seen the first episode of the last season of Fringe, because I think that's what we watched together. So sometimes I just randomly hear from him and be like, hey, of course, you know, there's sometimes I was tired. I was like, I wasn't quite ready to I was trying to figure out what toy was in the middle of the floor over there. Or she threw up. I'm not sure. But an example of how life would go with Nick, he messaged me one day, and he's like, hey, can I borrow you real quick? Or something like that. And I was like, yeah, sure. Or whatever. So he came and got me, and jumped in his car, and went past his apartment. So I was kind of like, okay. And he pretty much lives by campus, the college campus here in town. And we went past campus, and I was like, okay, what's going on? Like, he didn't tell me what we were doing, and part of me is glad that he didn't, because I had one of the most surreal experiences of my life ever, thanks to Nick. Other than being in a movie and having a credit on Internet Movie Database, that's kind of cool too. So yeah, we went past his apartment, we went past campus, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing? What's going on? I wasn't even sure if we were going to stay in town, what we were doing. He didn't tell me. So eventually we get to, it's a little restaurant. It's well known here in town. It's called Mary Jane's Cafe. And it has, as far as I know, it has, the person who owns it is called Mary Jane. It has nothing to do with Mary Joanna. So, so we get to this, you know, little cafe on the other side of town, past campus a little bit. It's pretty much the last thing in town, to be honest. There used to be a grocery store out there. There's not even a grocery store anymore. There's a big-ass fucking church out there. Used to be a Casey's. They tore that one down. Well, I guess they didn't tear it down. They closed it down when they made the new Super Casey's. I don't know what's super about it, but well, whatever. Tony's Market in Delhi is out that way. So, but anyway, basically it's like, you know, the other end of town, because there's some apartments, there's some blah 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 blah, but you get the idea. So I thought, oh, Nick just wanted to have lunch, you know. He's like, because I don't think we'd ever ate at Mary Jane's Cafe before. I don't believe we ate there this day either. I believe we just got up and left when we were done with our adventure. Somebody was with us. I don't remember. I don't think it was like one of the normal people. It wasn't Sean. Maybe it was Joe? Because I don't think it was Jimmy. I don't know. All of these names from back in the day. On Nick's Video Diary. I don't even think he has his videos up anymore. Or he's put them all private. I don't think I can share any of them anymore. To remind you of who these people are, Sean, you've seen him a few times in some of my adventures. But anyway, so we go into Mary Jane's Cafe, and I see this big group of people sitting in the back. Don't think anything of it. Just think it's a, you know, because sometimes, you know, big families or, you know, a bunch of farm people get together and they meet, you know, or whatever. Don't think anything of it. Nick's trying to figure out what seat to get or whatever, and about that time, the big group in the back gets up to leave. And we got a table, I don't know how to explain it, like the big group was, the big group was back here. Nick picked a table right about here. He sat on this side of the table, and the other person sat on the edge of the table. So I was going to go sit on the other end of the table. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't just sit down. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the person, but I was standing there. Because, you know, like I said, the big group of people was getting ready to leave. and somebody was coming up the the aisle to leave. So I waited for that person because I was gonna sit down on the end, whatever. Maybe I just didn't want to sit. Maybe it was somebody that I didn't really know. Maybe that's why I didn't really want to sit by this person, because I didn't really know who they were. I don't know. I don't remember why I decided to choose the table or the seat at the other end of the table. But somebody was walking up the aisle, and because I'm polite and I don't want to, run into them, literally, I waited for this person to pass by me. They had a ball cap, sunglasses on, but a very particular profile. I just happened to I just looked up and smiled because it's just, what I guess my, society has beaten into me to do. Polite society. So, I just look up and just smile, as this person walks by me. So I caught a glimpse of the face, even with the ball cap and the sunglasses on. And, they passed by, whatever, and then I sat down, and my brain is like, did that really just happen? I asked Nick, I was like, did I almost just run into Kevin Bacon? And he was like, yes. Nick always had very enthusiastic answers. He was like, yes. Because Kevin Bacon and his brother were in town at the college. They have the band, I guess. And they were doing a show on campus. And Nick had a friend that worked at this cafe and was like, you have to get out here right now. Kevin Bacon is having lunch, blah, 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 blah. So, me having no idea what is going on, because, Nick was like, I almost told you what we were doing, and I'm like, I am so glad that you didn't, because that was the fucking craziest fucking thing. I never expected that, and I was like, I literally almost just ran into Kevin Bacon, because, I was trying to go sit down in my seat, and I'm like, oh, somebody's coming, I better not run into them, literally, physically. And yeah, I mean, that's, you never knew when Nick called you what you were about to get yourself into. And, I mean, he hasn't lived in town for a long time now. He moved back to his hometown. He actually works at a jail now. So, it's crazy. He actually tried to get me to move down there, to work at the jail with him, and I'm like, no, I'm good where I am. Because he's like, they have all these benefits and they pay really good and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm good. The town that he lives in is a bit too big for me. They even have their own little TV station, an affiliate, I think, or something. But it's not like the regular affiliate. Because maybe it's a local station that's only, I don't know how far it broadcasts. Because that's when we went down there to do DVD signings for Nick's movie, as I mentioned before. There's this thing, Live at 5. We were the first guests on Live at 5 when we went down there for the DVD signings at Hastings. RIP Hastings, I miss it. So yeah. So they have their, I mean, they're big enough to have their own TV station. I think they have a radio station too. There was some kind of news. I don't know. I don't know what affiliate this is. I remember there being, I don't even remember who it was an affiliate for. I remember seeing posters for a TV show on their wall, or a couple different TV shows on their wall, but I don't remember what those were either. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I'll link Nick's movie below because I'm curious. I want to look it up and see what year it is. I should be able to, because it's on YouTube for free. You can watch it. let's see. It's called Disheartened. Disheartened movie, because if you don't put in the word movie, a lot of other disheartened things pop up. There, 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago when he did this. So it's been a minute. It's been a decade. So, I posted a thing in the Facebook fan group today that for some reason I was thinking of Bright Eyes, and the sound, because Minxie hates it when I sneeze too. She's gotten to where she becomes very offended when I sneeze. But not referee. Bright Eyes used to make these little like every time. So I was doing this video where I was trying to pretend like I was going to sneeze, but doing a bad job at it. Instead of going I would just go and Bright Eyes would go. I forgot why I was telling that story. 10 years ago. Oh, because I was thinking about my appearance in the movie, because when I posted it to the Facebook fan, when I posted that video, that classic video, to the Facebook fan group, I said something about you can tell this is an older video because I have more hair and less chin, I believe is how I put it. Something along those lines. I don't know. I've slept since then. Don't have a clue. I'm speaking the truth, you know. I fiddle with my hair all the time anyway, even though there's not that much of it, but I don't know. If you've never paid attention in the video, I will like do this, and that's why a lot of my thumbnails that I have to choose from look like me like doing a Professor X sort of thing. I don't know. But if you haven't noticed it, now you won't be able to not notice it because I mentioned it. But I'll fiddle with my hair or something. I guess I don't. It's like not a nervous tick. I don't know what you'd call it, but I don't know. I just fiddle, I suppose. So as far as spontaneity goes, I mean, I woke up the other day and there was a whole conversation that Sean and Mary Lee had about doing the thing in May, going to Pythian Castle in Springfield. Because it's like, we mentioned it, and Mary Lee was like, Sean, because he's the booker, or the researcher. He'll sit there and research, Airbnbs and different things. Like when we went to Chicago, he like overplanned. There was like so many different things that he said we could do. So we could always go back sometime and do more. Because he was talking about like doing the canal tour where you're on the boat in the little river, going underneath the bridges and stuff. He mentioned something about some old churches that we could go see. And sometimes the architecture is really pretty on those. Probably especially in Chicago. So yeah, like he's an over planner, which is good because then it's like you definitely, but sometimes it's like you have too much to choose from. Like, what are we going to do today? I don't know. But, so, Mary Lee kind of put Sean on that, and then we hadn't heard anything for a while, and then just all of a sudden, when I woke up, like Saturday or whatever, there was this whole conversation that they'd been having about, the 25th, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Not the 24th, Mary Lee, the 25th. She was saying something about going down. Oh, if we get Thursday off, my days off were rejected. Hers were approved. There's probably too many people in line, and I was the last of the pack, so my days off got rejected, but hers got approved. So, or maybe I put it in wrong, and my boss just wants me to put it in the right way, or I don't know. Sometimes, because I've had the management reject me before, and they're like, well, you put your time in wrong. So she's like, I don't mind you whenever, like the days off are fine with me, but I just want you to put the time in correctly. I mean, I've put it in multiple ways. I don't know, because we're overnights, And so it's like, technically you're supposed to put 2 hours on the one, so that they can, you know, they take you off the schedule or whatever. And I wasn't sure that was going to work on my phone, because you usually have to select, like if you sit down at the computer, and I mean, maybe that's what my boss wants me to do, is sit down at the computer and select, like, and they do it by military time, so you have to do, because it's like 10 to midnight. Like if I'm going to take Sunday off, I have to do 10 to midnight on Sunday, and then do midnight to 7 a.m. on Monday. You know, so it's like 22 to 24. You have to select that. And then you have to, you know, so that they can, you know, because otherwise it doesn't allow them to put you on the schedule or something stupid. I don't know. It's just another one of those systems that doesn't fucking work, but it's fine. You think they would have found an easier way to do it after all these years, but so I mean, if you just put in like 8 hours on Sunday, you know, I don't know, it doesn't. But I didn't do it that way. Well, of course, I did it on my phone, and I wasn't able to choose a time. So I don't know. Maybe it fucked it all up, and you know, she just wants me to do it at the computer, sit down and do it at the computer, and so that, you know, they can put me on the schedule where they need to put me on the schedule when I get back. I don't know. I can't remember why I was telling that story. So, never mind, I guess. Oh, but I was talking about, you know, they'd had that whole conversation, just all of a sudden, and I was like, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'd rather walk into the conversation late and kind of have all the details and just be able to say, yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? Instead of like the back and forth, oh, now I have 2 minutes of taping time left. I have not shut up today, apparently. But, yeah, I'd rather just, like, read it all and then respond. Like, yeah, that's fine. So it's cool with me. But, so that was fairly spontaneous, even though it was planned and researched, and it just kind of happened while I was asleep. The planning committee happened while I was asleep, which is fine. Right, Minxie? She's like, shut up. I'm tired of hearing your voice. Which is probably true. I don't even think I'm addressing the question anymore. I'm just telling stories. I don't know. So yeah, not really a very spontaneous person. Because it's like, you know, I go to work, I come home, I put on pajamas, I'm done for the day. I guess the most spontaneous thing I did was take out the trash this morning. I guess. Because it's like, you know, I actually did something for a change, instead of just put on my pajamas and gave up for the day. So, hey, there, after all this time, I came up with a good answer. The most spontaneous thing I did was take out the trash this morning. Cool. Anyway, what's up, ma'am? I don't know. Oh, now I'm blinking. Okay, so anyway, I've said enough. Makes you tired of hearing my voice. And I'll see you for what I see you then, I suppose.